You're listening to The Mentality Show, only on LA Talk Radio.
All right. And welcome back to The Mentality Show, episode 13.
That's right.
Let's give it up for ourselves, gentlemen.
Yes.
13.
Thank you for all your watchers.
That's right. Thank
Yes.
you, listeners, watchers.
Thank you for all listeners, watchers, masturbators, all that stuff. You know,
Although we were 13 last week, too.
weirdos. Yeah, I messed up last week. I said it was episode 13, but this is actually episode 13. Unlucky 13, so somebody's going to fuck up today. And I think I already did it right there. So we got that out of the way.
There you go.
Yeah, and we got, let's introduce all the cast here, okay? I got my man Sexy Texy here to my right.
How you doing?
Sexy Texy in the house. He's our tech guy, does all the tech stuff, handles everything tech-wise and engineer and all that type of stuff. I got my man Vato V here to my other right. What's up, Vato V?
What's up, people?
How you feeling, buddy?
Chilling, brother. Chilling.
Chilling.
Can't complain.
Good to have you. Always good to have you on my right side.
Thank
my
you.
right-hand man right
Right,
here.
man. Thank you.
That's right. And then we got our special co-host today. As you know, in this chair, we are auditioning for people to be on the show permanently.
Audition?
Audition. This is an audition. You didn't know that, huh, Tommy? So in the meantime, we're bringing on people who know what the fuck they're doing and they know how to handle this show. And my man Tommy is one of these guys. Please welcome to the show Tom Katsis.
Thank you very much for
Tom
coming
Katsis. Tom's been a good friend of mine for years. Very, very cool guy. He's an actor. He's a spokesperson. He's a model. He's done all kinds of things. Tommy, tell me a little bit about you, man. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, great to be here again, you guys. It's an honor. I was here about fourth or fifth show.
I think I think it was our second show, right?
Second or third one.
Second or third one, yeah.
Well, anyway,
Yeah.
you guys are awesome.
And you were 30 at the time, right?
Yeah, I've aged.
Wow.
It's been a tough life in
Stressful
LA.
life, man.
I met Franklin, I think, through the YMCA, the Glendale YMCA or the Burbank
YMCA
So I've
basketball.
known Franklin now close to 11, 12 years.
Yeah, you
and
both were young
Yeah.
men back then, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we both.
Yeah, we were. I was
we
just
both
a
love hoops,
tots.
and
Just a little lad.
we became close friends, and it's awesome being here. Thanks.
It's good to have you, Tommy. Always good talking with you. And we brought you on the shows for a specific reason because today what we're going to discuss is we're going to go into our current event, and then we're going to go into our meat and potatoes of the show. And our meat and potatoes is why do women live longer than men?
Uh-oh.
Okay? And are women responsible for this? All right? And the importance of a man maintaining his health. So, statistics show that women live longer than men, and are women the reason for that? Do they stress us the fuck out? Why are women living longer than us? But before we get into that, let me introduce myself. My name is Delano, okay? Thank you.
Oh, what's up, D?
Your host,
Sorry.
Delano.
Little golf tap.
I always forget to introduce myself. And this is The Mentality Show. The Mentality Show is a show of four grown-ass men discussing grown men issues that grown men have to deal with. And for women out there, if you've always wanted to know what men talk about or wanted to be a fly on the wall, then this show is the opportunity for you to do that because we talk about things that most of you are going to want to hear. And so let's go ahead and move into it. First of all, as I mentioned before, everyone had a good week, right? How was your week?
Can't complain.
Yeah?
Can't
Great.
complain.
Texie, good
Yep,
week?
I can't complain.
Tommy, good week?
Yes.
All right. So,
Definitely.
all right, that's good. Now, my week was pretty good too. I got a lot of rest this week.
Awesome.
Got some exercise in. Got some
you
got some
didn't do
good
shit
sex.
then.
Got some good sex this week. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, so I feel pretty good, man. That's one of the things we're going to kind of get into as far as maintaining your health.
So you
But-
had sex and then you were just lazy the rest of the week.
I know.
Man, that's how
That's what
good
I
that bum ass sex, man.
There you go.
If you get some sex and it just makes you just zonk out for at least 30 minutes, then women, you've handled business. If you fuck your man and he's ready to go wash the car or do the yard, you didn't do something. Something went wrong, right? And men, same to you. Once you fuck your girl and she's ready to go do her hair or do something that requires a lot of activity, you didn't hit it right. So
That's why
keep that in mind.
they live longer than us.
Yeah.
There's
Because
not a better tyrant than after you read.
Exactly.
we knocked the bottom out that pussy, man. So let's go ahead and move on. Our current event. Okay. So apparently here in Los Angeles, this is a kind of not a big story, but it interested me because, first of all, I'm sorry. Let me tell you what the show is going to be about, what we cover here in the show. On this show, we cover everything from politics and all the Americana to should California legalize marijuana? That's some things we cover here in the show. What else do we cover about, Toby?
Hey, from beautiful models, and hey, C, hook me up with that bottle.
No, they're all mine.
It's all good.
That's all good. Go ahead, Texie. What are we
From
covering?
politics and the Constitution to should California legalize prostitution?
There we go. Now
That's the topic.
That's the topic that's going to lead us into that. I fucked up because I forgot to go into what's going to lead us into the current event. Bato V fucked up on his rhyme.
The 13th.
Texie, actually, that was a pretty good job. Texie, you didn't fuck up yet. Tommy, we're gonna see where Tommy messes up. Okay, so all right, that moves us to our topic. Here in California, there's a retired lieutenant sheriff by the name of David Smith, who is being charged with felony and misdemeanor charge of obstruction of justice. And what this guy did is he was basically getting sexual favors from certain massage parlors in Los Angeles, and he would tip them off as to particular raids that may go on in the area, and basically tip off the workers and let them know, hey, you might want to stop. You might want to stroke a little bit faster because there's going to be a raid coming in about 2 minutes.
So not a cock blocker, but a cop blocker.
A cop blocker. Yes. This man, he's being charged with obstruction of justice. So, what do you guys think about this? What are your thoughts?
The guy's retired, man. Like,
don't give a shit.
what are they gonna do to him? Nothing. They're not gonna take away his retirement.
Nope.
He don't give a shit. He's like laughing at this shit.
He's already done. He knows the laws, man. He already knows what's up, man. Shit, if he's gonna tip somebody out, what are they gonna do? Fuck it. You ain't gonna serve no jail time or anything.
And
like that.
how are they really gonna prove that? I mean, maybe phone records, but how do they prove that he actually said that?
Well, not to play devil's advocate, maybe they're going to talk to witnesses and people like that. People who've given him certain hand jobs or whatever sexual services, and maybe he didn't tip them well or something,
Probably.
People who have certain agendas.
If he tipped them off, then I'm pretty sure they're pretty happy that they didn't end up in jail for the raid. So
Well, you're thinking the whole thing about having a raid because of something people love to do. We know it's prevalent throughout any major city, probably even small towns where people are having themselves taken care of sexually. So if they did legalize these things, then they could do more important types of police work that needs to be done too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a waste. It's a waste of their manpower
Yes.
to do that, and because it's a law, they have to put that police hat on and go in there and pretend that they're really caring about this. And I'm sure some cops do like to bust those type of situations, but they could be better served somewhere else.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
all those resources they're gonna be wasting and stuff like that. What's the point?
It's
man?
like marijuana, people do it.
Same
Did it
thing.
anyways.
Frowned upon.
Same
People
thing.
did it anyways. People smoke marijuana just as much as they do now. That's legal.
Yeah.
Back before it was.
Now it's
when it was
controlled, so
legal.
you're getting the right kind of product too,
Right.
Yeah.
which can make a big difference.
You make a good point. It's controlled, just like in Amsterdam and Vegas and Nevada, places like that where prostitution is legal. It's looked over, it's watched, and so they make sure that safe sex, condoms and things like that are used.
Right.
And it's a growing business. It's the oldest profession
Oh, right.
in the world. I mean, you can outlaw it as long as you like.
know.
It's going to happen. I mean, men and their penises. I mean, you can't. I mean, look at you. Some of the.
It's being my cock,
Satisfactions.
not a penis.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Delano, penis. You have you have a penis. We
Right.
have cocks.
Who's a penis
White
head?
guys like to use cocks. Yeah, suck that cock. Cock. Yeah.
Penis head over there. We'll call you.
I know, right?
Hey, it's we're not. I could go all day about the size of it and everything like that, but I've done all that on past shows. So if you're a listener of the show, you know what's happening.
And he has
So,
an H.
Still,
Yes.
I know. He has H.
Yeah, H for a huge penis. So, see, I promised I wouldn't talk about my penis. Let's go ahead and legalization of prostitution. In my opinion, I think it should be legalized. Look at some of the most famous men in the world, some of the most educated, wise men who get caught up because of their cocks and penises.
Well, we'll go back to Charlie Sheen. He got caught up with the H.
Oh, he's an idiot. Though. Charlie Sheen's not. He's an idiot. I'm talking about men like Bill Clinton, and all these other politicians, intelligent men, not
Dear Clinton,
Charlie Sheen.
The sexual relations.
I just want to say that when the wind blows a certain way, I'm going to need to get it in somewhere, and whether it's coochie or cankle, I'm going to get mine.
That's good. That's good. Well, over the lifetime of being in the insurance business too, I do a lot of reading about motivation and famous people that talk about motivation. And one of them was not W. Clement Stone, but another famous gentleman who wrote about positive thinking. And he said the strongest drive that builds bridges and makes people climb mountains and creates things, it's the sex drive, not because you're going to have the sex, but that overwhelming, powerful feeling of wanting it and channeling the energy. so I was stunned because he said the most powerful thing is the sex drive, how it drives us.
Right.
And I was pretty stunned by that.
Yeah. Because think about the word drive. It's a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
You know, it's and
beginning when we're sperm. And
Yeah.
we're fighting to be the one that gets in the egg.
Yes.
You're the winner.
Yes.
We're all winners here.
Yeah.
Everybody born is a winner.
Everybody's yeah. I used to work with kids. And you had all these. You would have the little scrawny kid that all the kids made fun of, and maybe called him, mentally challenged or whatever.
He was being bullied.
He was being bullied, and that kid would be in the corner feeling like a loser. And I would always tell him in speech, "Look, hey, from the day you were created, the day you came out of your father's peen, you, out of billions and billions of other sperm, you're the one who made it to that egg."
You got elbowed a little bit on the way out. That's why you're swallowed.
Yeah, maybe the other sperm was supposed to get there, and you're like, "Get out of here!" And you ended up getting to that egg, and now you got a fucked up baby. But
so the whole thing, I believe, is because in America we're wonderfully Christian, like 58, 59, 60%. So sometimes that Christianity bleeds over into wanting to tell everybody how to live all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just leave people's personal lives alone, as long as you're not molesting a child, or as long as it's consensual what's going on.
Absolutely.
Like in Hollywood, when the Weinsteins of the world probably could have had tons of consensual sex. Bill Cosby, at the peak of his career, could have had tons of consensual sex.
Right.
Yeah.
When you see people doing it because they're forcing themselves or raping or drugging people, that means there's an unhealthy perception of sex is bad.
Yeah.
Right.
But it should be very healthy.
Right. Absolutely. Tom, you just hit on it. You hit the nail on the head. I always say that as long as it's two consenting adults and you're not having sex with a child or an animal, or
you're giving up the animals all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's 2018. 2000. That's so 2017.
Last year.
Yeah. So
But he's a receiver, though. Big horse cock.
Texie.
There's a video out there somewhere.
Somewhere out there.
Texie will find it too.
We'll link it up in the comments.
Hey,
Look for a link at the end of the show.
but they received my consent before
There
it was
you go.
done.
That's
As long as
right.
consent is given,
He's
is
good to
given,
go. He's good
then
to go.
it's all good.
He pressed the sheep's paw on the paper.
But Tommy, you
brushed
brought
the
up Bill
balls.
Cosby and Weinstein. Some guys have this sickness in them where they feel there's a power thing.
Something about power.
Power, yeah. Bill Cosby, there was something instilled in him
Yeah.
where he wanted to have sex with women who couldn't move or who were unconscious.
That interview where he talks about like Spanish fly. We used to go and buy Spanish fly.
He did.
Yeah.
That was a famous interview.
Yeah.
They pulled it out of the archives, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And that he looks so
Like
So
a creepo.
creepy, like
yeah, exactly.
Spanish
Creeper.
fly.
But you know what? Back to one of the points you made. Like this guy, he could have whoever he wants, but because of his celebrity
People
status,
willingly
Exactly.
would come up to him and say,
What the hell is that? Is that his turn on or what the fuck is that?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, some men are turned on. Like he would have a total conscious woman he could have sex with, but instead, in his mind, his sickness, he wanted this person to be unconscious, so maybe he could do whatever he wanted to do without her, finding out how sick of a man. Maybe he wanted to use Jell-O pudding pops when he fucked her. So
I
he didn't want her.
I think there needs to be laws and protection against people that are being molested or being,
of course,
kept against their will or raped or harmed. But even when the other night I went to a big networking event called the Nebraska Coast Connections, a lot of us from Iowa, Nebraska that are out here in the business.
So there were sheep involved.
There were some sheep involved, willing sheep though. But this one gentleman who has done a lot of films now, his name's Charles. I don't remember his last name right now, but Charles was telling about how he got to do some camera work for Kevin Spacey's show, the political show.
Okay. The political show from Kevin
the-
Spacey?
Yeah, the one that's...
House of Cards.
yes, thanks, Delano. And he said that when he was on the show like a half a year ago before Kevin Spacey was outed, that he's a good-looking guy, probably about 38 years old. Charles is, and he told us on Monday night. He said they told him. He said, "Watch out for Kevin."
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I was really surprised to
Word
get some
was
insight.
out.
Well, the people on the show said, by the way,
He's a little touchy-feely.
So why did Kevin Spacey get away with that for that many years? Because it was the profitability of the TV show or the movie he was doing. He was also coming on to guys at the Royal Shakespeare Theater, where he was the guest theatrical director. So I think the lid's off of that stuff now.
Absolutely.
Oh, most definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah. I remember when all this happened with Weinstein. I remember Woody Allen saying, "Let the witch hunt begin," because he knew in his mind. I mean, this guy, he was having sex with his stepdaughter when she was a certain age, underage, and all that. If that happened today, his career is over.
And what he said, they said, "Thanks for taking the pressure off me for a while."
Yes,
Yeah, exactly. Just like I always said, when Bill Cosby got caught up, OJ was somewhere like, "Oh my God, thank goodness, I'm not the only one out there that they're going to be giving a hard time." Yes, but yeah, it's a sickness, man. It's a sickness, you got people who just like to take advantage of others, and have their way with them, and whether they're unconscious, whether they're Harvey Weinstein, would they just like to masturbate in front of women and that type of thing, Well,
Texie said it very well that if we legalize prostitution, there'll be a lot less. You're not gonna eliminate if you
the sickos.
If you forbade weapons, people are going to go get a gun and shoot people. Still,
of course.
But if you legalize certain things, then people will be less rape.
Right.
You're not going to eliminate rape or people being murdered.
Right.
But you try to statistically minimize all those
Right.
things.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe you can hire a prostitute to like allow you to drug them.
Yeah.
Take care
As
of
long
it.
as
As a
long as
role
there's
play,
consent.
as a
There you go,
role
role play,
play.
fantasy, fetish,
Right.
Yeah.
socks and sandals.
So guys like this, that's Vato's sickness. He likes to have sex.
We're going to learn more about this from Vato B here.
Yeah.
There you go.
He
That's
likes to
right.
do things with socks and sandals.
Smelly socks.
Stinky socks.
So, I didn't know that. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's a whole other thing.
I'm really glad we're not recording this show.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's just us talking. Nobody's
Just us,
listening.
right?
So,
No
yeah,
video,
that's,
no nothing. We're good.
these guys, what this guy did, I personally, I don't think he should get in any kind of trouble. I'm sure most of us here.
Talk about the sheriff.
Lieutenant Sheriff, right. The only thing I don't like with this guy, I'm sure throughout his 25, 30-year career, I'm sure he's busted people for
of course.
prostitution
Hell yeah.
and busted people for, doing things sexually
Right.
regarding prostitution. And here he is, the hypocrite,
Being a hypocrite.
getting these sexual favors from these parlors and then informing them and letting them know about raids.
Yep.
And now he's being charged with misdemeanor and obstruction of justice. So to me, he's getting what he deserved. But if it was just a regular everyday Joe, nothing should happen
I
to him.
picture
in my
one of
opinion.
him as one of those cops that would, uses authority to get some sexual
To punk
favors
you,
while,
yeah.
while
I'm sure,
he was
yeah.
on duty.
All throughout the years, pulling a woman over
Yeah.
along the road.
Yeah.
A lot of officers, I think, have had sex that way.
See, and that's fucked up. And that's fucked up for the good officers that are out there. They're trying to do their job. They're trying to do legit. And then you got people like this that are fucking it up for officers that are doing their thing.
Yeah, you have officers out there who are getting caught up, having women like, I won't give you this. Oh, you have a warrant? Okay, well, suck my cock, and I will.
Or my tiny penis in your case.
As we all know, that's not the case, Tommy. You haven't seen our past shows.
We all don't know.
If it gets dark in here and nothing, that means I pulled it out.
I see a big shadow go across the wall.
That's his
You know-
Delano covering the camera.
Since we're on this topic, let me address this, okay? As a black man,
Here you go. Here you go.
I'm going to say this. I'm very passionate about this. We have so many stereotypes that are fucked up against black men, okay? We're robbers, rapists, thieves, all these things, these horrible things they say about black men, uneducatedness. We get this one stereotype that's positive, and you guys want to take this away from us.
You guys. Not
Damn it,
those guys.
I'm a black man with a big dick, and I'm proud of it, damn it. All right, so that's my stereotype, and I'm sticking to it.
I love it. That's
All
good.
right, so
Very
here we
good.
go.
Very good. Very good. Very good.
So we're going to go ahead and
Moving
Moving on. Let's go ahead and transfer to this. Since Texie said I need to work on my transitions.
Now let's stop dicking around with this.
Yeah, let's. I can't think of any pun for
Conversation's
that.
petering out. Yeah.
Stumped. You stumped him.
You
You got stumped.
right.
You stumped penis head.
By the way, our show. What's the phone number, Texie?
It is 818-570-5085. Give us a call.
Give us a call. Number should be on the screen. Our show is being brought to you today by LA Aerial Image.
Nice.
LA Aerial Image.
Just one of them. Just one.
Just one image.
LA Aerial Image. One
one.
image. I've been fucking up and saying images. I apologize. Texie, go ahead and tell the people what our sponsor is about.
The LA Aerial Image is a production company. They do. They specialize in aerial photography and videography, and they working with social media marketing and branding and stuff like that. So
Okay.
Nice.
And they're our show is brought to you today by LA Aerial Image.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
Very nice.
So check out their
great production
Instagram.
work.
Their Instagram has a lot of different pictures and videos.
Right.
So that's LA.
And they-
It's LA Aerial Image.
They actually
Aerial
shoot.
Image, yeah.
They actually shoot our our skits and pretty much like our streetwalker segments and all that stuff we got. So check it out.
Check it out.
Very good.
By the way, Tommy, tell the people a little bit about this thing you have on YouTube, the Millennial Interview. It's gone
Viral video.
Viral. Please tell people.
Over 100 million.
Well, what happened was it was a short demo reel for an actress named Melissa Tucker.
Wonderful actress. Wonderful actress.
She's already been in a couple of feature films too, but she wanted to have a demo reel to show her comedic talents. And the director, Daniel Brea, they needed a guy to play the part of the boss, and he had seen my work before. So when we shot it, and he sent me a copy of it as he cut it into a short film. So I said, "Can I share that with people?" He said, "Yeah, go ahead." So then, you even know Mr. Mike Larson, who's written for many TV shows. I sent it over to him, the link, and he said, "Hey, Tom, when did this air?" I said, "Mike," because I'm upfront with him. "Hey, it was a demo reel. It's just to open the door for both me and Melissa and the Daniel and the writer Ralph O'Derna." And he said, "Oh, get that up on Vimeo and YouTube." So now on Vimeo and YouTube combined, it may only be like 16, 17 million, but the thing just exploded through Twitter and Facebook. And because of that, it's well over 100 million views worldwide.
Hi there. Yes, that is. Hi there. Have a seat. So, please welcome to the show, Cristal Aguirre.
There you go, Cristal.
There we go. Just talking to the mic there, Cristal.
Oh my god.
How are you? Sorry, Cristal. This is L.A. She's in a little L.A. traffic. Sorry to interrupt, Tom, but she's a lot prettier than you.
No contest there.
Right. Thank you. He was starting to bore us, Cristal.
Oh my gosh. So sorry.
Cristal. No, it's
That's
okay.
okay.
This is L.A. This is L.A. This is Los Angeles, and that's the type of traffic we deal with. You came all the way from where? Like a long way.
From
right?
Pomona.
From Pomona.
I know.
Long way.
Basically back
Long
in the
way.
Midwest.
Literally, it's the desert. It's terrible. Yeah.
Wow. Well, welcome to the Mentality Show. Great having
Thank you.
Cristal Aguirre, she's a model. She's a social media influencer. She loves inspiring others.
Right.
I know you just walked in, but I know you mentioned in your social media that you actually suffered from depression at one time.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Yes.
And that motivated you to want to inspire others and basically motivate others to if they're going through something like that to become better.
Yes.
So, and how did you do that? What are some of the things that you?
Well, this whole thing with social media really kind of just, I think when I started talking about my story and how everything happened, a lot of people related to that. I guess I didn't have anybody really when I was going through depression, and I wanted to be that person for someone else, whoever, if it was just one person, that I could be there for, and let them know that it is going to be hard, but they can get through it. Talking to people, and even though people sometimes make fun of you if it's like something that they're not really used to hearing about or anything. Yeah, because I kind of went through that for a little bit too. But then people started seeing like the improvement when I was getting better, and it's like it's really a serious thing, and people think it's a joke sometimes, and it's not really.
What are some of the methods? What did you use to make yourself get better? Did you get therapy? Did you do?
Oh my goodness, I did not.
Yeah,
I did not do therapy. It's so tough because you just don't want to do anything. You just want to lay in bed, and you're just sad, and it's bad. I think I just really told myself, okay, you need to get up. Like, no one is going to do it for you. You need to just get up, go outside, go, work out, because I love working out. I've always loved working out.
That's amazing what you just said, because that you found that you could do it for yourself, because to change an emotional state, she took a physical action. Because if you sit in your stew, and depression is one of those things where you'll get stuck there. But that was awesome that you did that.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah. Once you're right. Physical wounds, they heal. They naturally heal. But when it comes to mental issues and mental wounds and things like that, you have to do something to get.
How did you know you had bottomed out to the point where you had to do something, because it was pretty desperate at that point?
Well, I lost everything. Really. Well, the reason I got depressed was because I actually got jumped by my closest friends.
Oh, wow. Sucks.
Yeah.
You mean physically?
Yes, I got beat up by my friends who were like super close to me. They were like sisters. I'd like have them over my house, sleep over, and everything.
Boy.
And actually, their mom was involved in this situation.
Oh, wow.
I know, it was crazy.
Wow.
It was crazy. So I lost everything, really, and my whole world revolved around them around that time when I was younger. And I just realized, I said, I don't really have anybody. You know, you don't have anyone but yourself.
You see that looking back, those weren't really bona fide friends. Now you look back in retrospect, they were really bona fide friends.
Right.
But now you have bona fide friends?
I do. I have amazing friends, and I love them very much. And
There you
so,
go. And you're successful. There you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
No.
And what are some of the things you tell people?
I'm pretty sure they're watching now and just like, oh my
You know,
God. Yeah.
There's a narrative that you talk on. You did a video, NASTech.
Yes.
And the narrative on that is very inspiring. I watched that and I was like, wow, that's
What
some
are,
deep shit.
Tell me about that. What are
good.
what are some of the things that you say to inspire people to get over their depression?
I literally just talk about my life experiences. Like anything that I go through, if I'm having like a messed up day or something, then I'll take a positive from that situation and then try to, I guess, word it in the right way to have it relate to everybody else.
Right.
And just because we're all human and we all go through the same things, whether it be like later in your life or when you're younger,
Right.
I mean, everyone goes through situations,
That's
and,
right.
everyone wants to relate to somebody and talk about things. And I think it's important for people to talk about situations like that.
Anthony Bourdain just took his life, and he was madly in love with this other woman. So he's madly in love. He hadn't been officially divorced yet, but they had a amicable parting. His ex, and the daughters, it been left too. But sometimes when somebody is so bottomed out, when the combination of hopelessness and helplessness gets to the bottom, if you don't climb out or get out, so you wonder, why would somebody so gifted, why weren't they loved enough? And sometimes they're actually being loved a lot, but if you don't feel you're being loved a lot and you don't love yourself enough, so I think you've learned to love yourself then.
Oh yes, very much.
Yes.
And you're young too, and the thing is, you snapped out of it right then and there
Yes.
because, man,
But it's ongoing work.
It took a long time though. It did. It's still struggle even now sometimes.
of course.
But I know how to do or cope with it now a lot faster and quicker.
Right.
I do. Like I work out a lot. Like that's like the biggest thing is just working out and
That's a good.
and just hanging out with my friends. Really, just taking time because I work a lot and it gets stressful. So
your real friends.
yes, our real friends. Yes.
Maybe you can help Tech C. He needs to work out a little bit. He's suffering from some depression over here. Look at
He
that.
looks good. Leave him alone.
That's sad, man.
Talking from the old man who doesn't even walk.
Man. So thank you for being here, Cristal, and
you for
telling us a little bit
having me.
about you and what's going on and how people can help themselves. And if you're someone out there and you feel you need help and you're suffering from depression, get help. Find out what numbers to call, who you can talk to.
Yeah, most definitely.
Please talk to someone that you're close to or someone that you feel you can trust with this type of situation. I've been through situations in my life where I've had not depression, but I've gone through some tough times. And during those tough times, when I'm feeling depressed, I think about people who have to live with that. And I'm just dealing with it for a few days.
Right.
And
Good
I
point.
get over it.
Good
but
point.
It's a
You wonder
it's a-
how they even exist with that.
absolutely.
They're all hard, very difficult.
It's crazy how the mind can just mess you up and just throw you in a cycle where
that's
like
right.
I can't dig myself out of this hole,
That's
but there is
right.
hope. There's hope out there.
Yes.
Right.
And it's I just want to say too that don't be so quick to go to medication.
I was going to ask about
Absolutely.
that.
Don't.
Yes.
There's so many other things you can try before
Absolutely.
just, like going to the doctor like, hey, I'm depressed, prescribe me something. No, like
it's-
you really need to just talk
It's
to people.
It's cloaking over
Yes.
it. It's not really.
It's not dealing with it.
That's right.
You're
Side
not
effects.
growing out of it and just getting better. So
Right.
Right.
A good
That's
friend of mine
a
who
very
was
good message.
had an operation years ago back in Iowa, and he had, when they operated on him, he was under so long that it affected his brain.
Right.
So he went crazy. So he had these medications. So finally went to this one psychiatrist in Sioux City, Iowa, and the psychiatrist, Jack, took in all the medicines he's on. The psychiatrist, this really good psychiatrist, he's looking at these medications. He goes, boom. So he throws 4 out of 5 of them into the garbage.
Right.
Wow.
And all of a sudden, Jack's mind bounced back.
Wow.
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Because he was over medicated.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
And all those, and even if they give you medication, even with those medications that they give you, sometimes it has other side effects. It makes you even crazier than what
does.
it is.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Yeah, if you're going
that's
to
the
kill
bad thing.
yourself tonight, it's the medication. Call your doctor. You're not in that space mentally when that
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And then all the side effects and things like that with medication. I know some of these medications, it's like, we'll help you with your athlete's foot, but it's going to cause impotence and all this type of things. And I'm like,
weird
or
stuff all the
acne.
time.
Bleeding of the bladder,
Yeah.
bleeding of this.
Yeah. We're going to
God.
help you with your impotence, but you're going to have male pattern baldness, or
Wait a
you're
minute,
going to
wait a
Some
smell.
weird
Wait a minute.
stuff.
Wait a
Now
minute.
you're never going to get sex.
Look at it.
There you go.
Yeah, so
I think you have issues with that. But
There you go.
There you go.
I'm just naming medication out there.
Oh my
Naming
gosh.
medication.
you'll
What a-
remember them because
What a neat way to talk about baldness, Delano.
Hey, black guys with bald heads get women. White guys with bald heads get chemotherapy. Remember that. So, that's the thing about us. So we're going to go ahead and translate into this the meat and potatoes of our show. I've been getting in trouble, and our audience is saying you don't talk about the meat and potatoes enough. So
now he's translating.
So we're going to go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes.
Transition.
Thank you, Texie.
Segue.
I've been working on that. So we're going to go ahead and segue into this. Speaking of depression and things like that, there's a statistic out there, according to the Huffington Post, that
Then it must be real. Then it must be
it's
true.
real. I
Fake news or
learned
real
it.
news?
I learned if you say, statistics say that black men are better than white men, people are going to believe it, because statistics say it. Because statistics say it. So
But if
actually
you
have
say
a
it-
source.
If you say it, it's bullshit.
So I have to say, the
Statistics.
Huffington Post, according to the Huffington Post, women live longer than men. Okay, women live longer than men, and we're going to discuss why that is.
Oh my
Why
gosh.
do women
they
live longer
stress
than
the
men?
Oh my gosh,
out
here we
of
go.
Because they, what did you say,
Stress the fuck
Texie?
out of us.
Okay, speaking from experience, go ahead and tell us.
That is not true.
I want to hear your opinion on this.
Let's hear
Crystal.
her
I wanna hear-
opinion first.
Actually, no. I want to hear your opinion, Texie. I want to hear your opinion. You're not going to transfer.
My wife's gonna watch this. So.
Oh my gosh, he's gonna watch it now.
I know.
I gotta watch what I say. He's gonna get in trouble when he gets home.
I know Texie's wife. She's a sweetheart. She's
No,
good.
it's just maybe it was after having a baby, like she was like,
Yeah,
Postpartum.
that's natural postpartum, right?
okay,
Postpartum.
yeah, but it was like I helped more than anybody I know of my friends that help when they have a kid.
Well,
And
we
I-
all help make
and I
babies.
didn't helping with like everything else. But I never helped enough. I never did anything around the house. I never, that was her.
Or
thing.
she didn't perceive what you were doing because she was in that kind of.
Yeah,
a
I would do shit.
low
Like
spot.
I lived on my own for many years since I was like 19 years old, right? So, and I didn't get married till I was like 34 or
Okay.
something like that.
Well,
So
Good
I,
man.
I learned how to wash. I know how to wash, cook, clean, everything myself, and I did it myself because I lived alone.
Right.
And then when I got married, she took some. I still wash the clothes. You know what I mean? Today I wash all of our
awesome.
clothes. Our
That's
baby,
awesome.
Our
That's
son's
awesome.
clothes,
That is
all
good.
of
That
our
is
That's good
great.
husband
So,
duties.
but the thing is like, I still don't help.
You still don't do enough.
Yeah.
Women, I gotta say, I heard a woman told me this today. Women are never happy. No matter what you do to try to make them happy, for some reason they're never happy. Crystal, I know you're burning
Are you
to say
happy,
some
Crystal?
things.
Are you happy, Crystal?
Yeah.
I am.
She is now.
I'm
She is
super
now.
happy.
There you go.
Yes. Yes.
But I
What-
think that it's just because of like I want to say maybe it's because of old times, like the whole thing with men. Men got to be the men of the house and take care of everything, and women have to do everything else. I think times are changing now.
Yes.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's necessarily that we're not happy all the time. We just expect more because we do more for men, really. So we would want that back. You know what I mean? It's the little things.
Okay. Okay. So if you talk about tradition, then the
Yeah.
traditional female stayed at home, cooked, cleaned, and took care of the kids, and the man went to
Right.
work.
He
and
brought the bread home.
I came home
Yeah.
and drank his damn beer and yelled out to her,
Yeah.
"Where's my food at, woman?" Like that was accepted. But
Fell
now,
asleep on
but
the sofa.
now the man has to come home and wash dishes and wash clothes
After
and,
he
and do
works.
the yard work and fix the cars and take care of everything
After
and,
work.
and then
And
he still
pump
don't do
gas.
enough
Yeah. Yeah.
and
yeah.
drive all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I can't speak for every single person.
threw that
I know
in there,
I
man.
wouldn't do that. I feel like it's got to be the mutual stuff in the middle.
I think
know?
a lot of that.
50-50.
Yeah.
Can I say your house still?
Yeah, I'm like, oh my god, drink your beer.
We got to
drink it.
start. We should ask him this question right after that beer. We're gonna see. Let's get some more out of Texas.
But a lot of it's negotiation because there are probably, Crystal knows this too, there's probably some people that they are still old fashioned and that's what they want. And that's,
Yeah.
so they agree on that. But if people don't talk before they get married,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
all of a
yeah.
sudden- it'd be like somebody getting married and saying, well, I can't wait till we have a baby, and then have the man or woman say, oh, I don't want to have a baby.
Right,
Well,
right.
that'd be devastating to somebody who said, no, I want to have a family.
Yeah.
So if you don't do those things ahead of time and go with somebody long enough to figure that out, then it can be pretty miserable. But as a actor, but I have my own insurance agency, so I'm not living in a van down by the river. So statistically, I've studied these things over the years. Women live longer because they will address when they're not feeling well, and they will tell people, "I need to go see someone. I'm getting a bad cold." A man
It's
will toughen.
surprise
A man will
for men.
toughen.
Or they cry.
Yeah, a man will tough it up and say, like when a man might die of colon cancer because he doesn't want the great late Vince Lombardi of the Green Bay Packers. He told one of the assistant coaches, he said, "I'm seeing some blood in my stool," and the coach said to him, "Hey, coach, go see the doctor." And Vince Lombardi said, Cristal, he said, "I don't want any man sticking his hand up my ass."
Yeah.
And he died of colon cancer.
And that's the thing.
That mentality of that you're
That's
too
not good.
you're too tough. See,
Yeah, you're absolutely right. What were you going to say?
Yeah, a lot of men, we have that machismo in it. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
right.
no, hell no, I'm not going to do this or I'm not going to do that.
Right.
So when we come to a specific age of, like we talk about prostate and all that stuff.
Sure.
Like, we don't want anybody like going up there and
Right.
saying, okay, you got this and that. Because sometimes we don't want to see the reality
we're
of life.
afraid. We're afraid.
We're afraid.
What if
exactly.
something is wrong? But it's better to find out something's wrong early than
Then
too
later
late.
on.
I notice you keep saying we. You like it when people
Most
stick things up
definitely.
your
Oh,
ass,
yeah.
right? Yeah, I remember
He sneaks
said
for
that
other
on the
men.
past show.
Other men, yeah.
Right, okay.
Oh my
He's fine with it.
goodness.
He goes. What did Paul say? He goes to different clinics and they kick him out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know.
We're not going to do it again.
Right.
We're not going to stick our finger in your ass again.
Right.
Wait a minute. The other doctor, his finger wasn't long enough.
I want the
my
pinky,
gosh.
not the.
This is a
Can
professional.
Shaquille O'Neal stick his finger up my ass because he got a big
What
hand,
if it's
right?
a big pinky?
Oh shit! Then I'm gone. I'm out. Look, if I go get my prostate checked, I hope that it's like a Asian female 5'1" little doctor is gonna stick a little finger
With ET finger. With
There you
ET
go.
finger. Bone
He
hook.
don't even have to be
skinny?
a doctor.
Then I go with a 6'7" motherfucker basketball player. Like, okay, Lord, let me
Stop
do this.
lying.
Oh shit!
What they
Shaquille
say,
O'Neal.
You want Shaq's hand.
what
You
you're
want
getting-
Shaq's index finger.
That's not
when
good.
you're getting your prostate examination, if the doctor has both hands on his shoulders, then you know. That's
All right, here, son.
There you go.
He's gonna grab my ears.
Tom, that sounds like you speak of experience.
I can't go there. It's too brutal to think about.
So we got we talked about women stressing men out and
No,
maybe that's the reason-
I don't think. No, you stress yourself out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, see, you.
Yes.
That's why you have to say to somebody.
You can't blame other people for your stress. Never.
My wife loves you, I'm sure.
Okay, Texie, the things you do for your wife, I can tell you're an amazing partner.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to, even as much as you love that person, you have to risk
Exactly.
them getting mad at you. But you have to say, "Hey, look, enough of this now. I want to be appreciated more." I think that you could say that. Say, Tom said, "I'm not appreciated enough."
I'm like, I want to say something. I think men just will not talk about their feelings ever.
Right, yeah.
Like if you feel a certain way or something gets mad at you, you kind of let it build,
That's
build,
right.
build.
Right. Exactly.
And when you should really address a problem when it's actually happening, like hey, I didn't like that you said that, or I didn't like that. How can we make this work? Like, you need to have those conversations, even
And
though
not
they're
be afraid.
exactly.
Yeah.
Even though you're uncomfortable, I don't want to have conversations with guys that I'm like talking to because like you can scare them off because I'm really outspoken and I'm a strong person and I don't let things slide. And but
So
you have
that's
to let them
that's
know.
healthy.
So if I come over here and be like, look, babe, I went to the doctor today and the Asian doctor shoved a finger up my, so she take my my prostate.
Should you talk about?
I would
talk
have,
about that?
and I would have, and I would have been like, "How did it go? Are you okay? Like how, what they, what?"
Then
I'd be like, I'm going back.
I feel like I feel like this of a man.
Oh no!
I'm gonna go back.
I think it's just
So-
understanding.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
So Texie just had another beer. Let's hear what he has to say now. So interesting. He just drank his beer. So what does he have to say now?
Go Dodgers.
There you go, baby.
Go Dodgers!
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. So okay. So we all agree that it's not women stressing us out. It's men who are basically choosing not
like
to
she said,
go
not
to the doctor,
claiming,
not talking
claiming,
about their feelings,
claiming
Not communicating.
not
not
communicating,
right.
things
Yeah.
like that,
Right.
and not going to the doctor and
Yeah.
not getting their prostate checks. Now, a couple of times you mentioned, Cristal, exercising. That's something that's that help you get over your mental state
Mm-hmm.
and as your physical state as well. It helps you
Yes.
physically. A lot of people think, oh, I go to the gym because I want to look good. It also because I want to look good, but it also makes you feel good.
right.
Those endorphins, are
kick in.
released, and then it makes you feel good about yourself.
And
when you
hours
walk out.
later, you can
Always.
tell.
Yeah.
Hours later, you feel the result
good.
of the working out is hours later when you
Absolutely.
feel
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted you on the show, Tommy. You're a man of a certain age. And I play basketball with you, and you're out there sometimes out rebounding me. I'm not going to say outrunning me, but you out rebound me sometimes. And this guy is one of the oldest guys, probably the oldest guy in the court. And I've been knowing him for years, and he's been kicking ass
good.
on
We were
the court.
shoving. We played a couple Sundays ago. We were battling so hard over
Yeah.
the boards.
Oh,
literally,
God.
battling.
That would have been cool to watch.
This guy's competitive, but he can't take a loss.
Exactly.
We experienced
Really?
that the other
Sore
day
loser?
because I took his ass down
Cabrón.
and then he
Oh,
cried
you want
about
to get
it.
into that? Oh, you want to get into that? Okay, me and this guy got into it. Me and this guy physically got into it. His 2-year-old son jumps on my back. You're hurting my daddy. You're hurting my daddy. So I had to stop.
Wait,
Did he
me?
not jump into his son, not
God.
jump
Yeah,
into
no,
it?
he did not
But he
Who
jumped
cried?
on my back.
Who cried?
Okay, I'm sorry. We're
Who
getting
cried?
too loud on cried. No, I didn't. Are you serious?
Stop!
I said stop. I don't want to hurt your boy. Okay, wow. Okay.
Wait,
we're
I
not
got a
gonna get
witness
into
right
that.
here.
He said it hurts.
Yeah.
No. His son jumped on my back, so I stopped the aggressiveness.
We didn't get
and then
into
he
it.
grabbed
We-
my ankle and started twisting it because his son jumped on my back, and I'm like, "Whoa, stop, dude! That hurts." Yes. So okay.
Why is my son near him?
Moving on. So
Why are we moving on?
Hold on,
Okay,
we're transitioning. We're transitioning.
transitioning. We have a guest.
Segue.
We have a guest here.
Segue, yeah.
Okay,
Oh
so
my goodness.
let's get back onto this. Okay, so controlling stress at work and at home is very important. Okay, a lot of
Yes.
people get stressed by
torso,
things
sir.
things that go on at work, and they need to. I mean, at home, and they need to worry about stress that goes on at work as well. And a lot of people don't address those issues. So some of the outlets for controlling your stress are exercise.
Right.
Yes.
There's a thing called yoga. There's a thing called mindfulness that people practice. Zen. People practice things like that. What are some?
Zinfandel too?
What's that?
You have Zen and then Zinfandel.
Zinfandel. White Zinfandel.
We put fishing on this thing.
Alcohol.
Have you ever fished?
Fishing. I'm from Arkansas, so I'm a fisherman.
Oh,
I like
you're
to
a fly
fish,
fisher?
yeah.
Nice.
No, none of that fancy. I just get a pole with a string and
With
put
a
it in the water,
with a bottle.
catch a
Old school
catfish,
way.
skin that fish. Bing! Got some good fish. Got some good eating there. So, out of some of these things I've said, what are some things that you guys, Tommy? I'm really interested in what you use because you're great, man. You look great. You're a man.
Well,
of
a lot of
age.
it is, I think, sometimes it seems almost simplistic, but like she said, she got up and she started to exercise. So it's like that famous 4-word diet when you want to lose weight:
Right.
eat less, exercise more.
I don't like that word.
See, yeah.
I do the complete opposite.
But you work
Yeah.
it off because of your
Yes.
exercise.
Right.
And I think for me it was a matter of, and as people grow into their 60s and 70s, is you've got to find something you're it could be rowing a boat, it could be riding a bike, could be playing tennis. For me, it's
be
full
active.
court basketball and golf 2 or 3 times a month. But the basketball is the cardio that I do, the weight training for my connective tissue.
Right.
Even walking is going to
Walking is
You
good
know, a few years ago, I used to play in a band, and we used to do some road trips and play at different states and stuff. We played in Arizona, and then the next night we had to play in Vegas. So we took this long ass small road from between the two places, and we stopped in the middle to eat. And it was like a Twilight Zone diner. You walk in and it's like weird, like
Oh, I like it.
Whoa.
everybody's like at their table and quiet, and
Like,
Oh my God.
Like, ¿qué onda, mi amigo?
everybody's like feeding themselves slow. There's like no noise in there, and we walk in, these band guys, like the fuck, and we sit down and we fill up the table with food. We're a bunch of pigs and shit, and we all order cokes and this weird shit, and I look around and like everybody's old, like old,
Like
and they're all
Tom old or
older.
older. Wow.
And everybody in that place was drinking a glass of water. So I think water
Water.
is the
H2O.
key.
Oh.
H2O.
Were they staring at you guys while you were
Water.
there?
Water.
No, they didn't even notice
didn't-
us.
they didn't
That's
bother
how
you
weird
at
it
all?
was. It was Twilight Zone. They were just they didn't notice us.
So why are you drinking beer over there?
Because-
I'm sorry. This is water.
Beer's great too. I mean, I'm like, I have
you go.
nothing
There you go.
against beer.
Yeah, it's they
Beer's
say
great.
they say you should eat to live and not live to eat. You know,
That's
so
right.
a lot of people enjoy things like bacon and delicious foods and stuff like that. I'm addicted to bacon. I love bacon,
Yeah.
but I shouldn't eat it. You
It's
know,
a bad-
say it takes-
it's
takes,
so good,
time
but
off
it's
your
so
life,
bad.
right?
for you.
Terrible.
Exactly.
In
And-
moderation.
Yeah,
He
in
eats
moderation.
bacon and he covers his shit with salt.
No, I don't.
Come on, you just had wings today and you're like, salt.
No,
everywhere.
I put wings. I put fried wings on my. I put salt, a little salt on my
can't even-
on my
Oh
fries.
my
bro.
God.
You put wings on your salt.
Oh my
gosh.
It does that shit.
What
Hey,
is? Why are you putting? Wow. Oh, you wait till
Look it
next
up.
show. You wait
Why
till
you
next
pick-
show.
why you picking
Oh,
on
you
me?
wait till next show. Let's do it. Okay. All right. I'm gonna start taking. So anyway,
Do you want a hug?
trans
Hug it out.
for segueing. So you know, basically to sum it all up, if you're someone who's suffering from any type of mental depression or any type of physical ailments, exercise.
stress.
It's huge.
Make sure you go to
It's
your
huge.
doctor,
It's
get
huge.
yourself checked.
Take a vacation, man.
You know,
Also,
take a
getting
vacation.
away.
Have
You know,
sex.
when
Away.
you do, that's
So true.
Vito V, that's really good what you just said, because if you get into a pattern and don't break away from that pattern, the vacation makes you appreciate that you're coming back to your pattern. And when you get on that vacation, suddenly you realize, oh, I needed this.
Exactly.
Yes, absolutely. Vacation, mindfulness, finding a passion, a hobby, getting involved in that. They say the secret to life is family, friends, and doing what you love in life.
The mentality
Do
show.
something.
Or,
Yes.
doing who you love in life.
Oh, I like
There you
that,
go.
Tommy. I was just going to bring it on. Sex. Do a lot of fucking, man.
Oh my
It's
God.
great, bro.
We talked
Oh my
about
God,
that.
oh my
That-
God.
That's good
Yes.
for that's good for your
Sorry,
prostate.
this is the man show. This
No,
is the
this is
man
great.
show.
Like,
Yes.
I'm like,
Yes.
I'm totally comfortable with talking about that. So
Yes,
yeah.
it's
perfect.
and for
good for
women,
our
it's just as healthy as well.
Yes.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
women love it just as much as men
Ooh,
do.
that's a
But
very
they don't
deep-
say it.
Thank you. You heard
I'll
it
tell
from
you that.
you heard it from a woman.
We're
Right?
gonna
Sometimes
talk about-
more.
I believe
Like-
that. I believe that.
I mean, that's where the
Not all
women have
women,
the women have the advantage, because a man can kind of get done a little bit early if he's not too careful. So the man should take care of the woman first for sure.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then you know.
But see, women when they have an orgasm, it seems like it's so much better than men.
yeah.
Oh fuck yeah.
I mean, men were like, "Oh, okay, I'm done." Women are like, "Oh my god!" Knock people
Smacking
out, man. Oh
everybody.
my god!
That's like what you said. You know, can you
Yeah.
get the one stereotype and keep it? But women, they bear children. They
Yes.
they have
Oh,
all these
definitely.
fucked up things. They bleed every month.
That's
They
right.
have all this
That's
fucked
right.
up shit.
That's right.
But, so give them the
They get-
orgasm. You know,
give
they
them the
get
30-second
They get the
orgasm.
better orgasm. You know,
Yes,
like, fuck it.
the
You
30-second orgasm, and they live longer.
You know,
man.
it's
So-
funny. You got,
That's why they live longer.
Those 30
seconds.
back in Iowa when I was single, I was in my mid-30s. I was dating a girl from Dubuque, Iowa, that was a model, and she was even a ring girl at boxing matches, carrying the card, you know.
Nice.
So we were. I was renting the bottom part of my Aunt Viola's house, a big apartment at the bottom part of the house, because the doctor had built the basement out for the winter. So I got this whole thing to myself. But we're having sex, and she's the only time I've ever had a screamer.
Oh, hey, hello.
And I was cupping her mouth, saying, "Debbie, Debbie, Debbie."
Oh my God.
Wow. So they wasn't that.
Oh my God. Like
So-
screaming, full on just
Oh,
top
yeah.
of the lung screaming.
Stick that cock in there. So they were screaming in the 1800s. That was, I didn't know that was
Well,
something.
well, you know,
She had her little brood there.
Look at there's one woman that screamed for that little penis. So
Hey,
Wow.
it's not the tool. It's the mechanic.
That's right.
That's what guys with little penises say.
Yeah.
Not the size, but the motion.
No,
of the
Vito,
motion.
Vito,
Oh my God.
Vito V, Vito V. It's not the meat; it's the motion.
All these little penis, little sayings. You know, I don't have to worry about that. So, yeah. So anyway, that pretty much wraps up our show. Thank you for being here, Crystal. Thank you for
Thank
being
you.
here. You're so awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes.
check out her Instagram. What's your Instagram?
It's Cristal. It's CRISTAL, and then it's 2 underscores Aguirre, AGUIRRE.
There you go.
And we're
Check it out.
definitely gonna. We have to have you back again, Crystal, because you know.
I would love to be back.
Now you know where it is.
And actually, like, probably leave 2 hours ahead of time.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
and now I know where it's at. Yeah.
Okay, guys, we got to wrap it up. I'm sorry.
God.
And we got my man. Thanks
Tom.
Tom Katsis for
Thank
coming.
you, Tom.
Thank you.
Great co-host. As I mentioned, this chair is open. We're auditioning for someone to fill this seat, and Tom, you did a great job.
thank
So
you
we'd
very
love to
much.
have you
Appreciate it.
back.
Thank you
and,
so much,
Go
yeah.
from there. So check us out. If you're not able to watch our show today, if you're watching it right now, great. If you're not able to watch our show, or you'd like to watch past shows, catch us out on YouTube. Check us out on YouTube where all of our
If
past
you're
shows,
having
all
sex
13
right now,
shows.
watch the show after sex.
Yes, or before sex, because after you watch our show, you may not want to do anything. But check us out on YouTube. You can catch us out on all the social media: Facebook Live, YouTube, IG, The Mentality Show.
Gotcha.
We're here to help. That's what we're here for. Grown-ass men
That's
and
right.
a very pretty woman
There you go.
to come in and give their opinion on things.
That's
It
So
went by too fast.
I know it did, huh?
Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun. You know, that's what she said when she's having sex with C-Tech. With C-Tech.
On that note,
On that note,
On that note, so remember the Mentality Show. Always remember, okay, guys, you're good.
but with our help,
You could be the best.
That's
We'll
right.
see you guys next week.
All right, vatos.
You're listening to The Mentality Show, only on LA Talk Radio.